Now, the Taj Mahal, Bollywood, and curry, some things that come to mind when one mentions India, but the psyche of its people goes beyond these icons.
So, to try to explain what being Indian really means, Vivek Vaidya has written a book and he's here to help us to unravel the mysteries of being Indian. Good morning, Vivek.
Good morning, Vivek. I've got the book right here. I'm just curious now. Just the cover of the book shows a jigsaw puzzle. Are you trying to say that it's hard to fully understand the Indian?
Yes, it is. It's not just for foreigners. Even being an Indian, it's very hard to fathom what we are exactly about. So actually what this book tries to do is to gather all the jigsaw puzzles pieces and to give you a holistic picture of various Indian practices.
Okay, so you lived abroad for many years, and I assume the reason why you wrote this is because you got asked a lot of questions.
Yes.
So what are some of the 3 most common questions you get asked?
I will tell you what are the 3 most funny questions.
Okay.
So I was once asked whether I own an elephant.
Oh.
Where were you asked this question?
This was in US. So they imagined that maybe I own an elephant. So
I'm curious, and I'm perplexed. This was just how many years ago? Was this in the 60s, in the 70s?
No. I wasn't there in 60s.
Okay, sorry, that was me then.
So it was about, say, 10 years back. Okay. And what I realized when I travel, I've traveled to about 25 to 30 countries. What I realized is probably there are so many misconceptions about Indians. And there are so many, puzzling things that people have old stereotypes in their minds. And they somehow live on that. They haven't, bothered to update themselves.
But surely that must be changing. Surely.
I'm sure in one section of the society is changing, but there is another huge section who still ask me funny questions.
Okay, so the first one was elephants. What's the second one?
Snakes.
Snakes?
Are there snakes on Indian roads? So what we had to do was we had to take pictures of our offices, we had to take picture of our houses, we had to take pictures and show it to them that it's like anywhere else in the world.
So is there an animal theme going on?
Yes, what's the third one? What's the third one?
The third one obviously is, what I've covered in my book. Why don't you guys eat beef? Okay. What's so wrong with eating beef and things like that. So, of course, if you own an elephant is not a question I can tackle, but other things I have
So you've approached this book in a humorous manner.
Yes.
So it's not offensive at all. Will Indians reading it feel offended?
No. Indians reading it would feel connected because there are 5 stories. Each of the story I happen to be the main character, and in each of these stories, different questions are asked to me, and I've tried to describe what is the mental process that we go through. What do we actually feel? What do we actually say? There are some questions when asked, even we don't have the answers, and that actually puts us into a very funny situation that we have to justify, but we actually don't have a very A plus B equal to C kind of answer. So that's what the process is all about.
Let's talk about arranged marriages. I'm curious about this. What's the biggest misconception people have about it?
Biggest misconception people have is that the bride and the groom meet just 2 minutes before the marriage.
Okay, it's like a movie.
Yeah, so maybe that used to happen in 20s. I have myself got arranged married, and it's not like that. It's basically arranged dating. We are given about 6 months, 8 months time to kind of figure out and see if you want to get married. But you can't be dating like 5 girls at the same time. That's not allowed.
Right? Oh, that's not allowed.
Yeah. So final intention is to get married, but you do have time to explore each other. You do have time to really get to know each other, and as I would say, these marriages last.
Okay, now we're also keen to find out about cricket. Now the Indians love cricket. You've mentioned in the book it's not just a sport; it's a religion.
That's right.
But it's funny because it didn't come from India; it came from the English, didn't it?
That's right. So that's how the whole story starts. Actually, it's a British tradition. But when I speak to my British friends, what they say is cricket has remained into the top class of the society. Whereas when it came to India, it has actually cut across the section. Now, say 20 years back, it was in main cities. Now it has gone right down to the rural levels. and it is a religion, and that's the key message. And what it has done is it has actually helped people to connect with each other. People who have no idea of each other are connected to each other through cricket.
It's really funny because there was one time I met this Indian man, and he said, "Do you know Sharni Warne?" And I said, "Sharni Warne." He said, "Oh, since you like sport, you must." He was talking about Shane Warne. It took me a while but that's that's how we connected, because we were able to talk about cricket.
And Australian cricketers would be able to walk on the streets of Sydney without getting noticed.
Right.
You cannot do that in Bombay.
Okay.
Okay. At the end of your book, you mentioned Indians are good at this. It's called Jugaad. Am I correct?
Right.
What is that?
So we call it Jugaad. It's a Hindi word. What it means is we are, given a situation, we are able to find out what is the best shortcut that you can have, and how sometimes it might border on the lines of breaking the rule or bending the rule, as you may call it. But it's an innovation, a quick innovation, thinking on its feet, which is done in absence of many resources. When you are resource strapped, you are forced to be innovative, and that's what most of the Indians do.
Now you started off probably blogging,
Yes,
talking about these incidences, and then you decided to convert it to a book.
Correct.
Did you feel that this was, having something tangible out there was also very important?
Yes. When you write a blog, you have to write in 400, 600 words. I did that. And then I realized that there are so many people who land upon my website, vivekvaidya.com. Every day, about 50 people search why Hindus don't eat beef and land upon my page.
Really?
Every day. So far, in last about 2.5 years, this blog is read 25,000 times. So that's when I thought, maybe I'm up to something, and maybe there is genuine interest.
Well, that's good. Now people are curious.
People are very curious. And that's when I thought, maybe I'm up to something and it's easy for me to do it.
Okay.
Now we've got Deepavali just around the corner. How are you planning to celebrate it? Are you planning to give away these books, when we come over to your place? And I believe you've invited us, yes?
Yeah, of course. You're invited. You'll be served with lavish Indian food.
Beautiful.
But you have to buy the book.
Okay.
Oh, okay, all right. I think sounds fair. Sounds fair. Okay.
And explain to our viewers who are not celebrating Deepavali how you would normally celebrate it.
Deepavali is about lights. It's about family. It's about bonding. It's about festivities that you do around, lights. So there are various festivals that are lined up. It's celebrated for about 4 days. Each day has its own historical importance, and we have to do a few things on each day. And it's about being prosperous. It's about wishing each other to be prosperous and lead a better life.
Sounds a little bit like Chinese New Year to me.
Something similar.
Very quickly, if this book is a success and you end up with more queries about Indians, do we see a book too?
I'm already getting requests to write a sequel.
Wow.
And people are coming forward and suggesting that please include this question in the next one.
Fantastic. Vivek, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And we were speaking to Vivek Vaidya, author of Why Do Indians? The ebook is currently available on Kindle, iBooks, and Kobo.
And if you prefer the physical copy, it will be distributed in much of Asia and in Europe in the coming months, so be sure to grab a copy when that comes out.
Absolutely. Now, on that note, we are done for today, Monday, 9th of November. To all our Hindu viewers, happy Diwali.
And we'll be here again tomorrow to add some color to your Deepavali break. We'll have a special tour of Little India, plus we explore why more adults are picking up coloring as a hobby. So we'll see you then tomorrow morning. Have a great Monday.